Dalet. Dalet is the fourth letter of the Hebrew Aleph Bet, and you'll notice for its brain boost, we have Dalet has a little doggy tail, and it's important to note that if you don't put the tail on the end there at the top line, then it will resemble another Hebrew letter, which you'll learn later, Resh. So we want to make sure that we give Dalet its little doggy tail. These are the 2 steps to writing Dalet, very easy. Hey. Hey is the 5th letter, and for hey it's pretty easy to remember. And this one, it says hey, there's a hole in the house. You see the H sound there, and this is also important that you make sure you leave that gap or that hole, because if you don't, it will resemble another letter, chet. And so it's important when you write hey, keep that hole in the house. Hey has 3 steps, as you see there. You can go ahead and practice writing hey. Wa. Wa is the 6th letter, and this is important. You will hear a lot of people who speak modern Hebrew pronounce this letter Vav, but keep in mind we're studying the biblical Hebrew, so we will say Wa. And this one, it kind of resembles to me a water slide if I had to think of a W sound. So we have Wa says wow down the water slide. Wa is really easy. There are only 2 steps. As you see there, you can go ahead and practice your Wa. Zayin. Zayin is our 7th letter, and Zayin kind of resembles a ski slope, okay? So we've got Zayin, it zips and zooms down the ski slope. Now the thing about Zayin, it's very similar to Wa, except you were going to extend the top line longer. So here you can see the 2 steps for your Zayin. We have, of course, the same project ideas where they're more listed in the appendix, and you feel free to come up with your own ideas. But also, every 2 units, we have optional worksheets. And I'm going to quickly go over these worksheets, which can be found, with the course. And those worksheets are following the review pages here. Okay, so let's just take a minute and go over those worksheets. Okay, the first 3 pages are writing practice, and you'll have several boxes to write your letters. Okay, you can write the Aleph, Bet, Gimel. There are 2 rows for those. You've got Dalet and Hey on the next page, and there are 3 rows of boxes. And then you have your Wa and Zayin, and those have 3 rows as well. Okay, then go on to the next page, and again, these are optional. It's just to kind of further keep these new letters fresh in your mind. And what I did for this page is we have brain boosters. So on this worksheet, this helps you remember the formation of the letters. Keep in mind these are all mnemonic memory tools to help you identify something tangible with these letters. So the first one here is done for you. Hey has a hole in the house. And then number 2, you'll see it's blank, which one is like a basketball hoop, and you write the letter there. Number 3 is blank, and then it resembles the doggy tail, so you're going to write the letter on the blank, and so forth. So go ahead if you'd like and take the time to do your brain boosters. Then the next page, you've got some fill in the blank and matching, which is pretty self-explanatory. And then the page after that, you're beginning to read Hebrew. And this is good because it kind of trains your eyes to identify these letters you've learned so far in Unit 2 and 3. So what you'll do is, I took an excerpt from the Disciples' Prayer or the Lord's Prayer, which is found in Matthew 6, verse 9 through 13. Keep in mind, most translations have it translated in Greek, but I actually referred to a website, Hebrew for Christians, and I just kind of pulled the information they have, the Hebrew translation for what the Disciples' Prayer, Lord's Prayer was. So what you're going to want to do is, starting at the right to left, just kind of get in the habit of beginning to read Hebrew. The directions there, you can either underline or color each time, color red, each time you see the Aleph. You're going to circle or color green each time you see Beit. You'll box or color blue when you see Hey. And then double underline or use yellow each time you say Wa. And I give the option, some people may not have crayons or colored pencils, so you can just use your regular pen or pencil to do this exercise. And then once you've done that with the text, the Hebrew text, then you can answer the following questions. How many Aleph, Beit, Hey, and Wa did you find in that Hebrew text? Okay, now let's move on to our review. The first review, of course, is just for this section, and I like to start with the sing-along. So what we're going to do with the sing-along is sing the next portion of the song, which would be Dalet, Hey, Wa, and Zayin. So let me give you a sample here. Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin. Now that you've heard how it should sound, the instructor can say the melody and sing those 4 letters, and then have the student repeat it after them. Continue the repetition for a few times, then practice singing together. Okay, now once you kind of have a handle on how the melody and the words are for that portion, then go ahead and begin from the beginning, what you learned in Unit 2, starting with Aleph, put it all together. You can begin singing as the instructor and have your student repeat and then sing together. And here's a little example of that. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav,